I forget, are you doing a hardcover of this?
I'm in between. I mean, I was kind of anticipating doing that, but I'm trying to decide. So I'm curious for the reasons to do a hardcover or not. I mean, it feels nice to have a hardcover, like, hey, that's cool. But if I'm gonna, the purpose of the book is to support the business, and if I'm gonna send that out, obviously the costs are a little bit less if I'm gonna give away a bunch of copies to people. Um, if it's soft cover, but maybe it's a better impression with the hardcover and all that stuff. So still trying to decide that, honestly. Just so open to
Yeah.
your thoughts on reasons to do it, you know, versus not.
Yeah. So if you do a hardcover, it's not that much more work. It's a little bit more work, so there's a little more hassle involved. You have to design a dust jacket for it, which is different slightly
Hmm.
than the other cover. But I mean, you're talking about an extra few hours of work there to get the dust
Hmm.
jacket. You have to set up an account with Ingram Spark. You have to go through that process. I mean, I'm not going to say it's pain free, but it's not that bad once you've already done the work for the paperback.
Right.
And I think it does provide a better impression if you're sending that out to people for somebody to get a hardcover versus a paperback. There's something about a paperback that kind of screams self-published, whereas once you do a hardcover, people assume that it came through a reputable publisher. There's
Hmm.
just a little subconscious bit there. Um, and as far as the expense goes, uh, off the top of my head, I think if you order like 100 or 200 books from Ingram Spark to give away, I think you'll probably be looking at somewhere around like $10 to $12 a piece. And I could be off on that. It could be 15 or something. It's
Hmm.
probably not lower than 10 to 12. But um, it's, I mean, that's more than a paperback, but we're talking about a couple $100
Right.
more for buying a bunch of hardcovers to send out.
Yeah.
And when you look at the potential benefit that would come from, I mean, it's not like the paperback versus the hardcover is necessarily going to make that difference between somebody hiring you, not hiring you, or calling you, not calling you. But it could be a contributing factor that kind of tips things over or something, right?
Hmm.
And so when I look at the potential benefit of the hardcover versus the extra expense and time, which is a couple hours and a couple $100, I feel like it's worth it to do the hardcover with the dust jacket.
Okay. And do you have to do anything with the actual heart, that cover itself, like what's behind the dust jacket? Like, so sometimes it's got like a really plain something when you have a book there.
No,
The dust jacket. Is it
they
just
don't really get
completely
they
plain? They
don't
don't do
really give
anything there?
you
Okay.
yeah, they don't really give you many options there. I mean, I think you might have like two options. Like, do you want blue or do you want brown? I mean, it's kind of
Okay, so it's just completely plain, doesn't even have the title on there. Because sometimes they have like a title on there underneath that's just like really
um
plain, and sometimes it's just completely blank. And so just curious.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think if I were at my house, I would pull my book off the shelf and look at it, but I'm
Yeah.
nearly 100% sure that there's nothing on the cover. It's just a blank cover.
Yeah. And I'm looking at
It's
other
blue.
hardcover books, and they have it on like the spine. It looks like sometimes, here's like Benjamin Hardy's last book, but like the cover is
Yeah.
completely ba- um,
Yeah, and I don't think mine even has anything on the spine at all.
yeah, I'm seeing it looks like,
Not that it
yeah,
matters. I
a
mean,
few like that. No one
people
looks at
generally
it.
don't remove the dust cover, yeah. So,
If they do, they don't really care. Like, oh, it doesn't say anything there.
yeah.
Anyway, the few I'm looking at just have the spine thing printed as I look at them. But you know, that'll all be in the settings.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's an option if I want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you could figure out how to get it done, but that's that's the type I think a thing I would say really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.